Recording. All right, cool. Let's get our playlist ready. Surprised I didn't forget today. Let's start the first song, Solitude, and 3, 2, and play. Ooh. I'll have to cut that out of the video. Cool. Can you hear that through my ear? You can hear that? Can you hear that? A little bit? I'll just kind of keep it far away. I just like to hear the music so I know like what song's playing, because it's like not fun if I don't know like how to cue you like, oh, that song's awesome. So anyways, yeah, let's start on our mat. We're starting in a seated position on a blanket. So if you don't have a blanket, just grab one off your couch. You can also sit on a block if you have a block. Doesn't really matter, can be either. I always tell people to grab props right before we start. Just start in Sukhasana, easy seated pose, whatever's easy for you. Hands are on the knees, palms can be up or down. Roll the shoulders down and back your spine. Belly gently hugs in towards the spine. You don't have to keep your abs super engaged here. We're just starting out. We're just starting to remind ourselves that we're here to engage the body. Closing the eyes. So I'll take a deep inhale in, holding the breath in. Big exhale out through the mouth. Deep breath in. Roll the shoulders down and back. Exhale. Now continue to breathe in and out through the nose. The inhale is also related to the sun breath, the energizing breath, the prana. The exhale is the moon breath, the apana, that which you dispose of. So maybe your intention today, and I always teach this sometimes instead of a normal intention, think of something you want to engage more in your life, you want to invite in, and think of something you want to expel. It's nice to think of something a little more vague, like focus. You want to breathe in the focus, breathe in intention. Maybe you exhale just a single worry. Maybe you breathe in love and you exhale desire. Taking anything you want to invite in your life and you want to remove from your life. Keeping your eyes closed, let's gently twist to the left, bringing your left hand behind you, bring your right hand to left knee. With your eyes closed, just gently turn your chin over to your left shoulder. Switching sides, right hand comes behind the back, left hand to right knee, twisting gently to the right. And go ahead looking forward. Let's bring the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana. So it's not Supta Baddha Konasana, so we're not reclining. It's not a supine pose. We're pressing ourselves up, chest lifts, fingertips behind us, palms off the floor, lifting the chest. If you'd like, you can bring blocks underneath your knees here, but there's no reason you have to push them down or force them. Just let them float in the air. Maybe even pulse them up and down a little bit just to bring some movement into your legs and hips. Lift the chest and chin, drop the head back, Looking forward, walk the hands forward in front of the feet. Drop the head down between the shoulders. Shake the head no, side to side. And walk the hands up. From here, we're taking the left leg out extended in front of us, and the right foot is on the sole of the foot is on the floor. We're gonna bring the right arm in front of that right shin, and you can grab that left shin or thigh. If you can grab the feet, go ahead, grab the left toes with both hands. You can also use your strap here if you want to use your strap. If you're already feeling kind of warmed up and flexible, maybe you grab your hands behind your back in the bound version of the pose. Nice. Switching sides, extend the right leg down. And left knee is bent, sole of the foot on the floor. Bring the left arm in front of the left shin, grabbing that right shin with both hands or the toes. Lifting the chest and chin towards the big right toe. Don't forget to breathe. Again, you can find your bound version if you already have that here. Wrapping it around that left leg behind the back. Switching again, this time we're grabbing a strap. You can also grab your blanket. So if you don't have a strap, the blanket works perfectly fine as a strap. You just kind of roll it up, wrap it up, grab the foot. Otherwise, you don't even have to use a strap. This is more to help you reach the toes if you have trouble reaching the toes. So go ahead, wrap it around that left foot. We're gonna bring the strap into the left hand and bring the big right toe into the right index finger and middle finger and thumb. So we're grabbing the big right toe with the right hand, strap around the left foot being held with the left hand. Opening up the right hip side to side and still getting a nice little hamstring stretch in the left leg. The shooting bow pose. If you have it, you can even reach down and grab the toe with the left hand, the left foot, while grabbing the right foot with right toes. Switching sides, extend the right leg, bend the left knee. Strap around the right foot, blanket around the foot, or just grabbing the toes, strapping the right hand. Big left toe and left fingers, open up that hip side to side, little pulses. And this is a good moment to remember that my doing the pose is not going to look the same as when you do the pose. Everyone's body is different. Everyone's skeleton is different. Everyone's lifestyle is different. So if it doesn't look the same, that's totally fine. It does not have to look the same as everyone else's pose. Couple little pulses with the left leg. Nice, let's release. We're gonna come all the way down onto the back. You will need your blanket as a strap or your strap, whichever one you want. We're laying all the way down on the back. We're gonna start with the right leg in the sky, wrap around with the strap or blanket. And you're just holding each end of the strap or blanket with each hand, drawing that leg down towards your nose. Obviously not touching unless you're super flexible. Flex the foot, spread the toes. You can always bring a little bend into the knee. It's okay to actually lock the knee as long as you don't feel pain while you do it. And I always bring this up in yoga because it kind of, always makes me think of my yin training with Josh Summers, who talked about, when you're standing, think about how, when you stand, your knees are locked pretty much all the time. And if they weren't locked, you would be burning calories, like a lot of calories all the time, which isn't efficient, especially for, back in the day when we didn't care about calories except for getting enough of them. So my point being, I'm rambling now at this point, But locking the knee isn't necessarily bad unless you feel pain. So just keep that in mind next time you're in a yoga class and they say something about that. So from here, we're going to let the strap come in the right hand, both parts of the strap, and let the right leg fall to right side. You can let the left arm open to left side, or place the left hand on top of the left thigh to anchor down. I have my bookcase here perfectly to catch my foot. Just breathing into that inner right thigh. Again, breathing in that sun breath. Exhaling that moon breath. Nice. Switch sides. Strap around the left foot. Extend the right leg down. Strap in each hand, drawing that left leg towards you. Flexing the foot, spread the toes, bend the knee a little or not at all, or a lot, whatever feels good. Shoulders are low towards the floor. And just enjoy this nice deep stretch. Catch your breath, maybe slow the breath down a little bit. And strap comes into the left hand to open up. You can anchor down the right hip with the right hand. You can open up the right arm to the right side in a goalpost shape. Flexing the left toes. You can also bring your leg down to a prop. So feel free to always, lower that left foot down to the left side on a block and use whatever you need to use in your house if you don't have blocks. Take a few breaths. Nice, let's release. Bring the strap to the side for now. Let's get the crunches done and over with, right? Because we all love doing crunches. So we want to do them as soon as we can, do as many as we can. We'll do like 1,000,000 crunches today. I'm just kidding, I won't kill you. So we're going to bring the feet together, knees open, knees are bent. Draw the hands are interlaced behind the head and elbows are drawn in together. Now we're going to do a crunch, drawing the elbows between the knees and lower down, but not all the way. We're just going to lower a little so we can keep pulsing, lifting the shoulder blades off the floor and trying not to lower them down to the floor. So stay here, pulsing in through the knees. Let's do 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're crossing left leg over right for eagle legs, and keep your arms how they are. Let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch legs, right over left leg, eagle leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, hug knees into chest. Let's take a happy baby. Feet in the hands, knees open by your side, sway a little side to side, rocking. Nice, draw the knees in towards your chest. Let's rock up. We're gonna swing the legs behind us, come into a tabletop pose. Move the hips side to side. And from here, we're gonna do some hip abductions. Tuck the back right toes and lift that left leg open to the left with the knee bent. So try to keep the left toes in line with the knee as you swing the knee down and lift it to the left. It's also called the fire hydrant pose, as you can imagine why. We're gonna lift that left leg, so bend the left knee and keep lifting it up and down. Let's do 10 more. You can do your own pace to the music. And when you hit 10, keep the hip lifted. And we're gonna pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch sides immediately. Tuck the back left toes. Right knee opens up to right side. And do 10 lifts and lowers. If you need more support with the hands, you could widen the hands. And when you hit 10, keep it lifted and pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the right knee. From here, we're gonna swing the right foot to the right side of your mat and bring the left foot to the back of your mat. The inner left foot comes to the mat. So we're doing a modified side plank here. But instead of doing a modified side plank, let's lift the left leg off the floor. I'm tucking my back right toes behind me. The left leg is lifted off the floor, toes are flexed. Let's pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, lower it down. Let's take that side plank here, modified. And let's see if we have it in us yet this morning to swing that right foot on top of the left foot. So the legs are crossed in the side plank. You can bring that left hand down by your side or to the hip. Nice. Let's take the left hand down, take a plank pose, and let's come high to low vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. Let's take downward facing. Nice job. And let's come to a plank, then lower the knees. Left foot swings to left side of your mat. You can tuck the toes and bring the right foot to the back of your mat, inner right foot on the mat, lifting the right arm. Let's lift the right leg off the floor and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, lower the right foot and just reach the right arm up. And now let's take that side plank, crossing left foot over right foot. Lifting and reaching. Again, you can bring the hand down by your side. I find this a little harder. Or right hand to right hip. Holding for 3, 2, and right hand comes down, high to low vinyasa. Swing through upward facing your cobra and come through to downward facing dog. Pedal out the heels a couple times. And find stillness. Feet can be about 6 inches apart. Shake the head nice and heavy, shaking your head no. Nodding the head yes. Nice. From here, bring the right foot to center. Inhale, left leg reaches up. Draw the left foot forward. I'm gonna step my right foot back a little here. So right hand comes to the mat, left arm lifts up for a twisted lunge. Keep that back right leg nice and strong. You see that knee start to bend and give it a nice push up. Encouraging that side to work a little more. Take a breath. Take the left hand down. Let's take vinyasa, high to low. You can always skip this or modify it, knees coming down. Inhale, upward facing to downward facing. Always feel free to modify, especially if you have injuries. Left leg comes to center. Inhale, right leg lifts, one leg downward facing. Step right foot through. Keep left knee lifted. Left hand stays on the floor. Right arm lifts up to the sky. Reaching up. Keep that left leg nice and strong. Nice. Right hand comes down. Let's do another vinyasa. High to low. To downward facing. Meeting in downward facing. Left leg lifts once again. Let's bring the knee to nose and step it through again. From here, we're gonna come to the right side of the right foot, so pointing the toes to the left, and walk that left foot down the mat, toes facing the left side. I'm gonna lift that left arm up, lower that right hip a little bit to the floor, and bring it up. Lower it down, and lift. And as you lift, I want you to press into that left foot to really get into that left hip. So do a few more dips at your own pace. As you press up, you press with the left foot. Don't forget to breathe. It's really easy to forget here. Nice. Let's step the left foot back, come into another side plank. Whew. And come high to low. You can always modify with knees down. Or you can skip the vinyasa and meet in downward facing. Nice job. Next side. Right leg lifts, knee to nose, round the spine, step it through. Keep the left knee lifted up. From here again, we're coming to the left side of that back left foot. We're heel toeing the right foot down the mat, so toes point to the right side of your mat. Knee points to the right side of your mat. And again, from here, you can do some dips, dipping that left hip to the floor and pressing up, using the pressure of the right foot into the floor. Do a few more of these at your own pace. Let's do 5 more. And when you're all set, come into side plank. Reach that right arm up. Let's bring the right hand down. Let's skip this vinyasa, bring the knees down to the floor. Take the knees nice and wide, toes touch. Sit back for child's pose. Forehead can come down, reach the arms forward. Shimmy a little side to side to get deeper into the hips. You even take your hands to your hips, to your thighs, I'm sorry. Take your hands to your thighs and roll them out to the sides. So pressing the outer part of the thighs down and towards the floor. It's kind of like giving your own adjustment to yourself. Nice. Let's come back, tabletop. Come into a plank pose just for a moment, not to worry. We're gonna bring the right knee to nose, then kick the right foot over to the left side of our mat. So we're on the right outer edge of the right foot. From here, we're slowly gonna lower that right hip down to the floor and walk the hands over to the right side of the mat. This is like one of my favorite knee poses. I just love how weird it is. It's like a nice fallen warrior, but you're also getting a twist at the same time as, you know, stretching out the IT band. Walk the hands even further to the right if you want a deeper twist. Whew, and breathe. It's still so funny to think that Dio is actually in Black Sabbath. When I hear this song, I'm just like, wait, what? Walk the hands back to middle. We're stepping back into plank pose, so stepping the right foot back. Let's go into downward facing. Let's bring the left leg lifting up. Draw the knee to nose, left knee to nose, and then kick the left foot out to the right side, coming onto the outer edge of the left foot on the right side of your mat. We're lowering the left hip down to the mat, and we're walking the hands to the left side of the mat. I love this stretch for another reason, because you get a nice extension before you come into a twist. So I never feel like I'm kind of just crunching into this twist and hurting my spine in any way. You get a nice long extension before you do any kind of twisting. You can also come down onto your elbows a little bit. It does bring the stretch a little more into the lower back, which is not super good, but it might feel a little nicer if you don't do quite the extreme version of the pose. Take a few more breaths, close your eyes, relax the chin to chest. Nice. Take the hands back to center. Step it back for plank pose. We're meeting in downward facing dog. From here, we're gonna look forward at the hands. We're gonna hop, step, or jump both feet, coming into Malasana squat pose. So maybe you like to jump on either side of the front of your mat to come right into Malasana squat pose. Feel free to grab your blanket or your block or whatever prop you have and take a seat on that prop. It helps you focus more on the hips. Take a few breaths here. Maybe if you have this nice deep pose, you can start to look forward and maybe a little bit up. Hands at heart center. And if your hands are at heart center here, opening up the shins, maybe you start to press the palms away from each other, fingertips pressing in towards each other. Nice. Now we're gonna take the arms nice and wide. So arms reach out side to side, fingertips to the floor. And the further back your hands go, the deeper the hips are. Nice. Let's bring the hands down to the floor. Slowly lift up to a forward fold. Take the feet hips width distance apart. You can start to bend one knee at a time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Let's get deep into this forward fold. Let's take the feet a little bit wider, heel toe them apart. Let's grab opposite elbows and bend the knees a little bit. Feel free to gently sway side to side, shifting your weight into the right and left foot. Nice. Release the elbows with the hands, heel toe the feet so they're underneath the hips. Halfway lift, flatten the back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, slowly roll to rise, press into the feet. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, Samasthiti, hands to heart center, lower the shoulders, tuck the tailbone underneath. Gentle hugging in of the belly towards the spine. Gentle Mula Bandha. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Let's step back for plank. Feel free to lower the knees down, coming to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, or cobra to downward facing. We're not taking a classic Sun A right now. We're just gonna step the right foot forward, coming into Warrior One. Lower the left heel down, swing the arms up for the Warrior One. Arms are strong, spread the fingers. Now from here, I want you to tuck the back left toes. So lower the left knee so it points down to the floor. You can keep your arms strong here, or you can bring them to your hips. And we're gonna bring the left knee down for little dips. Pressing the left knee down, pressing the right foot down into the floor to bring yourself back up. Keep dipping here. Let's take 5, 4, 3, 2, and stay low. Bring the hands to heart center, lean forward, and let's twist to the right for twisted lunge. Looking to the right side of your room. Press into the right foot even more, and we're gonna step the left foot forward to come into twisted chair. Nice. Let's take a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Let's sweep the arms up to rise. Inhale. Exhale, hands come to heart center, Samasthiti. Again, hugging the belly in softly towards the spine. Rolling the shoulders down and back. Pada Bandha, lifting the toes up off the floor. Engaging the bottoms of the feet. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Let's take it back for our plank pose, high to low, or skipping the vinyasa to go to downward facing. From downward facing, we're stepping the left foot forward, lowering the right heel, warrior one. Finding your strong pose, lowering the shoulders down. The focus here is not on the back bend, so maybe don't come directly into the back bend. Remember to hug the belly in. And then we lift the right heel up for lunge. Hands can come to hips if you want, or you can keep them lifted. And we're starting to lower and lift that right knee, pulsing it up and down. Keep pulsing, maybe you move to the music a little bit. I feel like I'm gonna include this song sweetly for every class, every Sabbath class. Nice. Keep the knee low. Let's bring the hands to heart center and bow forward over the left thigh. Twist the left, twisted lunge. Keep the right leg strong, but try to bring more of your weight into your left foot. So lean forward and step the right foot forward. Whew, twisted chair. Good. And forward fold, nice work. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do another inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up to rise. Exhale, dive right back down, sun salutation C. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Let's step the right foot back, right knee lowers down. You can untuck the toes if you'd like, swing the arms up. Bringing the hands down, heel to the left foot, to the left side, bringing the left arm inside of that left thigh. Now there's different variations we can take here. You can stay here, you can come to your blocks. If you have blocks or a blanket, feel free to grab those props if you need a little extra height here in the hands. It also helps you lift up the chest as well. You can come down onto your forearms, either on the blocks or on the mat. Let's stay here for a breath or two. Feel free to have that left thigh really open up to the left side. You might even come onto the left side of the left foot. Whether that happens for you or not really depends on your skeleton for the most part. What are the shape, excuse me, of your hips? What is the length of your femoral head in the socket? And of course, the flexibility is key. Nice. Remove the props if you have them. Or you keep one underneath your right hand and you reach back with the left. You can either stay like this or you can start your quad stretch, grabbing that back right foot with the left hand. So your right hand can be on a prop or on the floor. For an even deeper pose, you can lower that right forearm to the floor or a block. A very deep pose. Do not feel like you're failing anyone if you can't get here. It's extremely deep on the front of that right quad. Nice. Let's slowly release that back right foot. Move the block to the side if you've got it. Come to plank pose, vinyasa, or skipping to downward dog. Meeting in downward facing dog. Let's swing that right leg up to the sky. And let's open the hip, peel it open. You can bend the knee. Roll out that right ankle. And let's flip our dogs if we feel comfortable. Lowering that right foot down to the left side of the mat, reaching the right arm up to the sky. It's almost like a reverse tabletop in a way. Let's come back down to that one-legged downward facing, right leg lifting. Let's draw the knee to nose and cross the knee to the left elbow. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale, lift it up. Let's draw the knee to the nose and come into pigeon pose. Unexpected, right? Whew. Early on in class, pigeon. So in this pigeon pose, I do want you to use a block if you have it, and use a blanket if you have it. So the way I want you to use the block, and I'll show the blanket as well. I want you to use that block to go underneath your belly and underneath your groin, between the groin and belly and that inner right shin. So it's going to be used as kind of like a ramp to lean on. And the reason I like this is because it, allows you to stay in this pose in the even way where you're not dropping into the right hip too much, you're staying level. And it also allows you to get a little bit into the belly with a prop. So it might get into your digestive system in a good way, give your belly a little massage. Maybe you come down onto the forearms and you kind of rock a little onto the block. With the blanket, you kind of just fold it into a block shape or just a supportive shape, and you do the same thing, lowering down like it's a ramp. You can stay lifted on the arms or you can come down into the forearms. It's not a requirement of pigeon that you come down onto the forearms or even lay down. Pigeon can be here, and it can be just as difficult here as well. You're also getting a back bend here as well, so that's nice. Let's stay wherever you are. Let's take 4 more breaths. If you are on the fingertips or the hands, let's externally rotate the arms and flip the inner part of the elbow up towards the sky. Nice. Move the block or blanket out of the way. We're going to come back into our one-legged downward facing. Inhaling the right leg up. And we're going to step the foot through the hands and lower the left knee. So in our low lunge, let's bring the hands to hips for now. Take a breath. Maybe you want to express your back bend here and look up. Let's bring the hands down to line the front right foot and just step the left foot forward to meet the right. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up and rise, Urdhva Sthasana. Exhale, Samasthiti, hands to heart center. Let's come all the way down immediately. Come down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Left foot steps back, low lunge. Lower the left knee down. Swing the arms up. Nice. From here, hands lower down, and we heel to the right foot to the right side of the mat. Bring the right arm inside of that right thigh. Again, this is where you can always bring your props. You have your block or block substitutes. You can come here nice and high, lift it up off the floor. This will get a little more into that top of the left hip. And also come down onto the forearms like we did before. It's really what feels good for you today. This is your flow, this is your practice. Kind of explore your own body and what feels good. Take a few breaths. Slowly, we're going to start to come back up onto the hands, either on the block or on the mat. You can keep your left hand on a block as we reach back, twisting to the right, reaching back with the right hand towards the back left foot. And if you want to take that deep quad stretch, you can grab that back left foot with the right hand. Again, it's okay if the right knee swings open to the right. If you can't quite reach that foot, then just reach back. You're still getting a nice stretch in the left hip. Everyone release it down. Let's take it down to the floor, release the block, plank pose, vinyasa, or coming right into downward facing. From downward facing dog, let's swing that left foot up to the sky. Open up the left hip. Bend the knee, rotate that left ankle. And feel free to drop the left foot down, to flip your dog, reaching the left arm up to the sky. Sometimes it's nice to be a little dancer here and just express your own movement, especially in this pose. Get a little more wild thing about it. Left hand comes down, lifting the left leg up, one-legged still. Hug the knee to nose and touch it to the right elbow if you can. Inhale, left leg lifts, touching left elbow to left knee. Lifting. And let's bring the knee through and come into pigeon. Right knee lowers down. Again, grab your block or your prop, slide it underneath the belly and groin, on top of that inner left shin to be a little shelf. You can stay lifted on the hands, you can stay lowered down. Use this time to breathe and close the eyes. A little bit of reflection. Taking a moment to notice your breath. Notice the sound of the music. Maybe it's turned up nice and high and you actually feel it vibrate through the floor, through the mat. Maybe you're just noticing silence. Take a few more breaths to stay. I almost don't want to move myself, but take a few more breaths to stay here. Nice. Start to lift up, remove the prop. And from here, we're gonna lift that left leg up for one-legged downward facing and step it through, low lunge, lowering the right knee down. Untuck the toes, arms lift up. Feel free to express your back bend here on this side if you want to, lifting the chest up. And if you imagine your vinyasa flow as more of a dance, like I said, than necessarily strictly just yoga, you might find it to be a little more fun, a little more expressive. Dancing and yoga is not that different. Nice. Bring the hands down to line the front left foot, step the right foot forward. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Nice. It's just about time at 11:45, but I do want to do one more pose before we finish. We're going to come down to the mat and come into a straddle split. And I don't like to say the word split too often because it makes people think like, alert, splits, I can't do that. But practicing splits and doing the splits, you know, they're different things. So let's come to our blanket. So if you have your blanket or block, let's use that as a seat to keep our hips a little lifted as the legs are lower than the hips. So I'm going to bring my blanket to the side of the mat and have it folded. How high it's folded or how tall the blanket or block is depends on, you know, what kind of flexibility you have in the thighs and the hips. So the higher the blanket is, the little bit easier it will be on the hips. I'm going to keep it nice and high today to give myself a little more time to wake up. And we're just going to open the hips to either side. So you might manually use the hands to kind of open up the legs a little bit, flexing the toes up. And then we're starting to lean forward and just noticing how that feels. You might start to lower the forearms down and think this is where you're at today. It's also really nice to use your blocks or other props, even a pillow. You know, you can use the blocks stacked like this and start to lower the forehead down. You can do it even lower. Make a little shelf for your forehead. So stay wherever you're at that feels good for you. If you're feeling the stretch in the inner thighs and down the hamstrings, you're doing the pose correctly as long as you're not feeling pain. Stay here. Breathe, close the eyes. Maybe you just try to flatten out, lowering the head down. Maybe you see what it feels like without that blanket underneath. You want to kind of see where you're at with this pose without a prop, and you feel a lot lower to the floor without it. Let's take 3 more deep, slow breaths. Nice. Let's start to come up. Bring the feet together. Whew. Maybe use the hands. They're a little bit raw. Let's take a seated twist. So let's bring the left thigh down, swing the right foot over the left knee, and twist to the right. Maybe bring that left arm in front of that right thigh. Switching sides, you can just fan the legs out like a dancer and switch like that. It's a little more fun that way. Left hand comes behind the back, right arm in front of that left thigh, looking over to the left. Nice. Let's come down onto our backs. I know we're all getting excited because that means we're about to go to Shavasana. Let's hug the knees into the chest. Give them a nice squeeze. Rock a little side to side. Nice and come down. If you want to continue this hip opener class, even during Shavasana, you can take Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees open, and just see how long you can stay here. And when you're ready to close the legs, you can just use the hands and close the knees for Shavasana. Otherwise, you can extend the legs down and straight. Let the arms fall down by your sides. Together, let's take a deep breath in, fill the lungs, and hold the breath in. Puffing the chest up toward the sky. Open the mouth, loud exhale, release. Relax your breath. Again, thinking of that energy you're taking in with your inhale and the energy you're removing from your body with the exhale. Visualizing this can be a really big help doing the exercise. Take one hand, rest it on the belly, right below the belly button, and the other hand, and just bring it to the top of the chest. Giving yourself a little hug. Remembering here that yoga is a practice, it's not a perfection. Yoga looks different on every body. And it's never useful to compare your practice or compare yourself or your body to your peers. If your knees are open, use your hands to close the knees. And let's all turn on to one side of our body. And when you feel ready, push yourself up to an easy seated pose, Sukhasana, just facing forward. Take an inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, hands can come down to heart center. Just taking a moment to thank yourself for coming to your mat today, for showing your body and your mind a little bit of love and patience. Maybe we can continue this mindset, patience, and kindness to yourself throughout our day. The light and dark in me loves and honors the light and dark in you. And together we say, Namaste. Thank you so much for coming today. If you're watching this on YouTube, we put the YouTube videos up on our website or up on the YouTube every week. So if you miss class, you can always find them here. But if you want to join class live, go to Facebook. The link is below, and you can join the Zoom class live.